Okay, this will be a very quick visual encyclopedia, pages 176 and 177. So throughout the 1930s, Congress and the American people were determined not to get involved in the problems in Europe. They ignored President Roosevelt's warnings that the U.S. could not remain isolated. In Europe, Britain and France tried to avoid war by giving in to Hitler's demands. But when he broke his promises by invading Poland in September 1939, they finally declared war. The aggressive actions of Italy, Germany, and Japan led Congress to search to guarantee Americans' neutrality, which is that we would stay out of the war. The Neutrality Act of 1935 banned selling weapons to warring nations. A second Neutrality Act in 1936 prevented American companies from making loans to any nation at war. In what became known as his quarantine speech, FDR said that the fascist aggression was like an epidemic of a disease, and quarantine was needed to keep it from spreading. Isolationists were upset by the speech, especially when the president said, "Let no one imagine that America will escape." The isolationists want us to stay out, and FDR is saying, guys, we can't stay out. This is coming for us. In March of 1938, and remember the war will start in September of 39, Hitler sent troops into Austria and annexed or took over that German-speaking nation. France and Great Britain protested, but they took no action. Hitler next demanded the Sudeten region of Czechoslovakia, claiming that the 3 million Germans living there wanted to be a part of Germany. In September of 1938, at a meeting with British and French leaders in Munich, Hitler promised that this war was the last territorial claim I have to make in Europe. After persuading the Czech government to give up the land, the British Prime Minister claimed that he had brought peace in our time. 6 months later, in March of 1939, Hitler's troops took over the rest of Czechoslovakia. Okay, so what Czechoslovakia did, they gave into a hostile nation in return for peace, and that's called appeasement. Isolationism is a deliberate policy of trying to stay out of the affairs. And here is the British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain being welcomed to Munich in 1938. Japan's war of conquest in China seemed more remote to Americans than the aggression in Europe. However, when the Japanese bombed the city of Shanghai in 1937, Americans were shocked by the newsreels and news photos showing the first full-scale air attacks on a populated city. And this was moments after Shanghai railway station was bombed, killing 1,800 people. And that's a little kid in there crying. It's just so tough. And then, of course, we keep hearing about Blitzkrieg. That is on September 1, 1939. The Germany attacked Poland, and we watched a lot about that. And 2 days later, Britain and France declared war on Germany, marking the official beginning of World War II. So in answer to this question, here's a German soldier. I want you to tell me the official first day of World War II. And the answer would be right here in my video. That's what I want you to write.